Good afternoon, Andy. Slightly different time today. We're a bit later in the day. Normally we're Tuesdays, but we had to reschedule. How are you doing?
Absolutely awesome. And I got to say, remember we spoke about that CDS, the chlorine dioxide, thanks to you, Catherine. I'm using that every single day now. So it's everywhere I go, it goes with me in spray bottles, goes with me in this. So what I'd like to say is go and watch on BitChute Catherine's webinar with Dr. Andreas Kalka. It'll change your life.
He's amazing, isn't he? I've got my
Amazing.
CDS here. It's got my diluted CDS in my leach bottle because I've had an
Absolutely, yeah.
computer. But I've also, what we're going to be talking about today, got my green shake. So by very popular demand today, I have had loads of people, parents who have got children, teenagers, young adults going off to college or university, who are very much worried about how do they actually get their children to have something. Children, young adults, will lump them all in together because there's none of the products we're talking about today that you can't give to any age of child. So what I would like to do today is really just give some parents some help, because, you know, teenagers in particular, young adults, they're a rule unto themselves. They don't want to listen to what mum and dad say. So we want things that are going to help support their immune system, help support their gut health, give them a healthy start to the day or whenever they're going to be able to take it, so that the parents can stop worrying a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's you launch away and I'll answer loads of questions, because you've got some good suggestions from all your years of experience of what they love.
Yeah, so I've studied with a guy for years called Paul Chek. Okay, some of you might hear of him. He changed my life. He got rid of my cognitive dissonance in the field of nutrition, pharmaceuticals, etc., etc. And the one thing I always remember that he said time after time was, don't think of an athlete as somebody on a track or in a pool or on a bike or on a football rugby pitch. Everybody's an athlete. A housewife is an athlete. Imagine what a housewife has got to do. Okay, and I know it's a very old saying, a housewife, but stay-at-home mum, stay-at-home dad, whatever you want to call them, you know, holding your child, hoovering, cooking. Oh, that's an athletic performance that you're doing. That's freaking tiring. It's tiring stuff. Okay, but when kids are going to school, it's an athletic performance that they've got to do. Okay, how many kids go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, do everything right, and wake up super fresh? Not many. Okay, so when they wake up in the morning, they're tired, they throw their cereal down their neck, crashes their blood sugar, they go to school, they go to, you know, I'm talking older kids now, they go to school, they're tired in school, they don't perform as well, they don't perform at their work, at their, you know, schoolwork as well, they don't perform on their athletic performance as well. They come home, they're tired, they play the computer games. I'm generalizing here, okay? I'm totally generalizing. Yeah. So everybody is an athlete in their own world, what they're doing, okay? So what I found is getting the nutrition correct for especially teenagers. The younger the kids are, the easier it is. But with kids who are teenagers, I haven't got kids, but I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, and when they start hitting those teenagers and those hormones kick in, their hormones aren't stable and they're all over the place, trying to get them to take something healthy in general. And again, guys, I'm generalizing here. In general, it's not easy. You got to fight on your hands. So what I like to do is try and help people find a way of giving their kids something that looks good, and something that tastes good, and something that's super healthy. Okay, what have we got out there? Okay, what have we got out there that can do that? Well, super tasty. You know, you've got your bread, you've got your toast, you've got your jam, you've got your cereal, you've got your Pop-Tarts. They taste amazing, but they're absolutely diabolical for your health. They will crash your system, your immunity will crash, everything will crash. But as a youngster, as a teenager, you kind of, when I was a kid, I was indestructible. I joined the army, I was indestructible. I joined the fire brigade, I was indestructible. Then I started hitting my 40s and I thought, I'm not as indestructible as I thought I was. And it was all of that stuff I used to do years ago started catching up on me. And it wasn't until I was 30 something that I started realizing I got to do something about it, but I still started feeling it from 40 onwards. So what we want to do with the kids out there is try and encourage them not to feel it at 40, not to feel it at 50, to bulletproof themselves from a young age. And that's basically what I try, well, yourself as well, Kath, and what we try and do with young kids is what can we do? So I'd love to see in the comments some suggestions about what some of you guys do. What do you do if you've got kids and they're teenagers? What do you do to, or what do your kids, what do your kids do before they go out the door? You know, it's not right or wrong or good or bad. We're in the world. We do what we do. You know, are any comments in there, what you guys or what your kids do?
Well, whilst we're waiting for their comments, I mean, obviously I've got 2 children, big children now, and I'm going to show these on the screen later, but my children are both athletes, and so they're quite aware of what goes into the body, but one of them, I won't mention names because I'll get into trouble as a mummy.
I know who it is.
But one of them is way better at taking care of what they eat than the other one. And when you're at university, what I found is there's a lot of peer pressure if you're living in a flat or a house with others and everything. So making it really easy for them has just been absolutely transformational. So I use quite a lot. We've both talked about the PURIUM products, the Platinum Health, as they're called in Europe or the UK, and the codes are scrolling at the bottom and always below the videos. But what I do is this one here, which we're going to talk about today, is a really good chocolate one, which both my children absolutely love. I prefer the berry one, which is available in the UK and not in America. But as you and I know, we're both addicted to our green juices, and both my children absolutely love this. So what I find personally as a mum is that when you know they've had their super nutrients and something really good, then I can just not stress out about what other food choices they might be taking. And interestingly, my daughter, who's currently in America, and I was speaking to a client about this afternoon, she's been quite horrified about the difference between the food that's available in America and the food that's available in the UK. And we didn't really realize there was quite so much difference. So for her, having her superfoods had just been absolutely invaluable. Before we go on, Andy, we've got this issue from Gina about organic daily vitamins. What have you got any comments on that?
Yeah, obviously if you're juicing, whether you're juicing manually, whether you're taking green juices like Catherine there, you can get a lot of vitamins, minerals and trace elements in it. I truly believe we need to supplement our diet with things, okay? But the more healthy we eat, the less supplementation that we need. But the food source is so diabolical out there that we need to supplement, okay? So brand wise, there's a lot of different good vitamins and minerals, okay? And I'm not gonna really go, I don't really want to recommend any off the top of my head, but what I would say is personally, okay, I would avoid your Holland and Barrett's and places like that, okay? Because they said most of their stuff is synthesized, which means it's man-made. So when they say this is fortified with vitamin C, well, if you eat an orange, do you need to fortify a nice orange with vitamin C? No, because it's already in there. They need to fortify these things because there's nothing in it. So let me give you a quick example what I mean by synthesized. This is a way I had it really explained to me well years ago, okay? Let's say you're walking towards a table, and on that table are 2 beautiful looking plants, and you're like 20 meters away from it, and they're 2 beautiful looking plants. They both look vibrant. As you get closer, you see one of those plants dulling, and you get closer to it and you're thinking, there's something different between these 2 plants. You go to the one on the right, or there's a left as you're looking at it to me, and you go, oh, that feels really nice. I can see the juice in it. And you could, you know, not even metaphorically speaking, but you could literally eat that plant and get nutrition out of it. Your body will pull nutrition. And then you go to that other plant that looks strange. That doesn't feel right. And you try to eat it and it tastes plasticky or rubbery. So you mince it up and you eat it and it's made of plastic. Your body cannot absorb it. That is something that's synthesized. Now, when you get synthesized vitamins, minerals, and things like that in these in these other shops, what it means is you're going to get very, very, very little nutrition out of it. So they might be cheaper and they might have their buy two, get one for 1 pence, but you're better spending that money on one single high quality product that's going to be very bioavailable to your body. So I would look out for the good stuff and stay away from the synthesized stuff. And the synthesized stuff will be in your big chains. Okay, it will be in your big chains. That's what most of this stuff is.
Yeah, and also I would add to that in terms of, you know, we all want to be putting into us things in an as natural, unprocessed form as possible. So Gypsy Daisy has made a good point. You know, breakfast is often really difficult for parents to get a healthy breakfast down their children. And Daisy's saying, you know, banana and organic peanut butter down there. But sometimes it's really easy to get something in a shake form that they can actually eat or drink as well, because breakfast for teenagers can be a nightmare. They quite often don't like getting up anyway. And then they're not necessarily going to make the healthiest choices when they're in a rush. So looking for something that's in as natural form as possible, and really read those ingredients lists carefully for those daily vitamins to make sure that, you know, they're not full of synthetic nasties. And also, I don't like personally taking things in tablet form, because tablets use lots of binding agents to stick them together. So capsules can be really good, or, you know, taking something that you can actually drink or put straight into your mouth, because you're looking for is for that to be as bioavailable for the body as possible. Yeah,
I'd getting that something inside them. Remember we spoke about the biome, the microbiome in the body a few weeks ago. We spoke about all amino acids. We spoke about all of that stuff. And there's a great one there. Okay, I like the sound of that chocolate drink. Catherine was talking about that to her children. Yeah. So how many kids don't like chocolate? Not many. Not many don't like chocolate. If they don't like chocolate, do they like vanilla? If it's okay with you, Catherine, and I think this will be, there's different ways I can talk about things, but I'd love to give the ingredients to this MVP sport. Okay, take the sport away from it. MVP means multi-vegan protein, and it's fully organic, and you will get a month's supply in there. Okay, that's a month worth of breakfasts for your kids. If you just used it on their school days, you're going to get more than a month out of it. Okay, is it okay if I just maybe explain the ingredients that are in that? It's really, really important. When I explain the ingredients in this, your mind should be, those dendrites in your brain should be on fire and exploding, because you will see these ingredients are formulated in such a way where you're getting 3 different proteins in it, which is going to give you that full bioavailability protein blend, and other things, other ingredients in it, which are used so much in the natural health world and are so good for the body. Okay, so I'm going to use I'll also at the end I'll let you know the types of ingredients they use to flavor it. Okay, because natural flavoring with most companies isn't natural. Okay, but with high quality companies, a natural flavoring does mean natural. So there's 3 different proteins they got in this MVP multi-vegan protein. Take the sport out of it, but it is fantastic for athletic performance, but it's fantastic for everyday life, almost like a great meal replacement. Okay, so there's a pea protein, and they use yellow peas, and yellow peas are very, very highly bioavailable. They're slow digesting, and if something's slow digesting, it's going to give you that sustained energy. Okay, that's what we're looking for our kids. We're looking for that sustained energy for the morning going into their lunchtime. Okay, that's what we're looking for. It's high in an amino acid called lysine, and we've spoke about lysine before with the aminos, but lysine is used in the biosynthesis of protein, so it helps synthesize those proteins and make them bioavailable. But one thing that's very interesting about lysine, and this is going to take us into what's happening in the world now, okay? Regardless of what you believe in it, it's going to take us into the world now. Lysine is used as in a specific amino acid now, used specifically in the prevention of things like cold sores. So it's an antiviral. Now, regardless of what anyone believes about what's going on in the world now, having something antiviral is really important, because viruses have been mutating for years, and they're just mutating faster and stronger. And the people who have got a better immune system and they're adding high quality products into their body, foods into their body. They're going to have less chance of picking the viruses up, and when they do, they're going to recover better from it. Okay, so there's also pumpkin protein in it. Now, pumpkin protein is a really, really healthy source of dietary fiber, okay, and a healthy source of fats as well. And it contains essential minerals, things like magnesium, manganese, copper, zinc, and a few other things as well. These are these trace elements that we really need. These magnesiums, manganese, copper, zinc. We need these. And one thing to remember is if you take zinc, you have to take copper, because zinc will pull copper out of the body to utilize the zinc, so we have to replace the copper as well. So you can see these things are formulated with, there's been a lot of thought going into it. They also contain antioxidants. And antioxidants, what do? They scavenge those free radicals that are in our body. And they may benefit heart, liver, and in essence from that, you're talking about your immune system. Okay, and the third protein they got on there is organic brown rice protein. Okay, now it's a highly digestible form of whole meal rice that they use. It's not the germ isn't taken out of it. Okay, the wheat germ is still in there, so it makes it very, very healthy and highly digestible. It's got an amino acid called cysteine in it, and cysteine is fantastic in helping forming skin, hair, bones, connective tissue, and things like that. Okay, so it's also helps in the making of a hormone called glutathione. There's a lot of research you can do on glutathione, but let's just keep it really basic and say glutathione is a natural antioxidant, and it helps in the detox of the liver. We all need our liver scrub, don't we? Okay. Turmeric. I used to buy my turmeric off Catherine. When she used to sell it, she sold the best turmeric in the UK for sure. And I used to buy it in kilo bags. I can't find it anywhere like that now. And I go through a lot of turmeric. Well, there's everything in here, by the way, is organic. Okay, everything is organic. So in it, it's got organic turmeric. Turmeric contains something called curcuminoids. Is that the right way of pronouncing it? Curcuminoids, yeah. Catherine? Yeah, curcuminoids, which helps reduce that cellular inflammation, and it increases capillary blood flow, which gets all those nutrients and oxygens faster into the body. Something else is organic black pepper. Now, organic black pepper, I'm not going to go in depth about black pepper, but it absorbs the curcumin within that turmeric. So do you see how things are getting formulated here? You've got the turmeric, and then you've got black pepper, which helps absorb that turmeric into the body. So it's very, very intelligent the way these things have been put together. It's got something else called organic moringa leaf, and it's the leaf and not the pods. Now, I don't know if you know the difference. Do you, Catherine? I can't think off the top of my head why it's important as a leaf and not the pod.
Very different sort of active ingredients. So the leaf is very, very bioavailable for the body and what we would normally take for maintenance use, whereas the pods tend to be used more for short-term use for dealing with specific issues.
See that? Just pick that out of the air. That's amazing. Now, what a wealth of knowledge Catherine is. So it's the leaf that's in there, which is obviously the more bioavailable one. And there's a combination of proteins, vitamins, minerals, and there's a complete amino acid profile in moringa leaf as well. And, it can increase the ability of the body to use oxygen by up to 20%. That's pretty good. Up to 20%. How's that going to help kids perform throughout the day? And we know that glucose plus oxygen equals glycogen, okay? And glycogen becomes something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And adenosine triphosphate is the fuel and energy that fires the mitochondria within the cell. Now, without going in depth about that mitochondria in the cell is the powerhouse of the cell. If you can get that pumping and get the energy into that mitochondria, you're going to get much better performance in your body and your mind throughout the day. And again, it's one of those things that helps reduce cellular oxidation. And if you can reduce cellular oxidation, get that mitochondria, that powerhouse, that energy in the cell to fire on all cylinders, it's going to be great for endurance throughout the day. So do you see how we're going into the realms? It's not just about athletics, it's about performing throughout the day. It's also got a couple of mushrooms in it. It's got agaricus mushroom. And as far as I'm aware, agaricus is considered the king of medicinal mushrooms. Big immune booster. It's an adaptogen. It energizes the body and helps reduce inflammation. And there's a whole list of other benefits that agaricus mushrooms can give us. It's also got organic rhodiola rose extract, and that helps in the repair of damaged cells. And it may help, I'll say may because we can't go saying that it absolutely does everything. It may help with heart rates and give the potential to increase your energy, stamina, strength, and that mental capacity. Okay, you can increase that mental capacity. How's that going to be great for your kids to perform throughout the day? Eleuthero root. That's also known as Siberian Ginseng, and anyone who knows the ginseng, Siberian Ginseng is powerful stuff. Again, it can increase stamina, endurance, focus. It's an immune booster. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's an adaptogen, and in the alternative world, it's used for so many different things, including heart issues, cancer. They use it in the treatment of cancer, kidney issues, Alzheimer's as well. They use it for Alzheimer's, diabetes, and so many more health issues. Okay, and the second mushroom they use is something called Cordyceps mushrooms. Again, we could talk forever about Cordyceps, but it restores that adrenal energy. Now, there's a lot of people's adrenals are fatigued nowadays, so it's going to help restore that adrenal energy. Now, believe it or not, Cordyceps was made famous back in 1992, I think it was, in the Beijing Olympics, when the Chinese swimmers who were not known for swimming smashed world records. Okay, now I'm not saying they weren't doing anything else they shouldn't have been doing, but a lot of athletes were, but they were known to take super high doses of Cordyceps leading up to the Olympics. Okay, so that's where Cordyceps mushrooms really got its fame from. But in the health world, we've known about it for years. It's also got organic maca root. I'm sure everybody's heard of maca. It's really, really good for improving the endocrine function. Okay, your endocrine function is your hormones. My God, today hormones are all over the place. I reckon if I went around 100 men and we took 100 men and we took testosterone levels from them, not the recommended levels that the mainstream medical sort of fraternity give to us, but proper levels, I would say not far off 100% would be low on the testosterone. Okay, so it's very important that we use things to improve our endocrine system, improve our hormones. Helps the old noggin. Okay, helps the memory. It's an adaptogen, and it's a good one. Okay, it's also considered, I'm not saying it is, but it's considered an aphrodisiac for women. Okay, so
they don't want that for their teenagers, Andy.
I know, it's only considered though. Okay,
yeah,
and there's so many other uses that you can use the maca for. Okay, too many to go into. It's also got some pink Himalayan I'm going to call it sea salt because the Himalayas were once underwater. Okay, so even though it's a rock salt, it's got some sea salt properties, and that's loaded, I mean loaded with essential minerals and trace elements, and I believe that's one of the salts that gives everything in the exact doses that the body needs as well, the pink Himalayan salt. It's amazing stuff. And obviously salt helps hydrate the muscles, which helps calm the muscles down. Okay, now kids are running about all day usually, so if they're running about all day, that's going to help in the muscles, and it neutralizes acidity, and we all know how we need to keep an alkaline state and not an acidic state. Okay, there's also this is going to give a carryover to something that we spoke about a few weeks back, which was the gut harmony for your microbiome. So it's also got the same kind of digestive enzyme blend in there as the gut harmony, or is called the Biomedic in America. So it contains things like amylase, protease, lipase, cellulase, and lactase. Now, I'm just going to use one example, okay? People are lactose intolerant, right? A lot of people are lactose intolerant, and that's because there's no lactase in things like pasteurized milk, because the pasteurization kills lactase. Lactase is the digestive enzyme for lactose. That's why a lot of people become lactose intolerant, because there's no lactase in the milk. That's why up to 80 or even 90% of lactose intolerant people can drink raw milk because there's lactase in it. Okay, so very important having this digestive enzyme blend in there as well. And you also got bacillus, say this right, bacillus coagulans. Okay, now bacillus coagulans, that as well can increase your immune system function because it acts as a probiotic. Okay, and going back to what we were speaking about with the Biomedic at Harmony probiotics are amazing. That's the main ingredients list, but then we come to the flavors. Okay, so how do they flavor it with chocolate? Well, they flavor it with chocolate from raw organic cacao. Okay, and they use raw organic cacao powder. Now, in the health world, raw cacao is really highly used for medicinal purposes, and they actually use it in a lot of medicinal ceremonies as well around the world. Vanilla is sourced from organic vanilla orchids. Okay, so they go for the best of the best. The oil they use in it is organic sunflower oil. So you're much better using things like sunflower oil than rape seeds and soy and things like that. And it's also got organic acacia gum, organic monk fruit extract, and organic guar gum in it. Okay, so they do use the best of the best ingredients. So if you take that whole ingredients list and you put that together in one scoop, in one shake, as much as somebody said earlier that their kids have a banana with some peanut butter, organic peanut butter, that's great. Okay, that's better than a lot of kids get, but it's still not great. Okay, it's not the best of the best, but it's good. It's something you're bringing some fats in to neutralize the sugars, which is really, really good, and re-energize, which is a good thing to do. But you imagine giving them something like this that tastes like chocolate, and you're on a winner. So many people out there that I've dealt with use this for their teenagers. And it's not just for the sports world. It really works great on those teenage kids. A shake before they, what? A shake before I go to school? A chocolate shake? Yes, please, Mum. I'll have that. So, yeah. That's a very, very, that's quite an in-depth breakdown on the ingredients, but I thought, Catherine, it's very, very important to give the breakdown on the ingredients so people can see how PURIUM, Dave Sandoval, the owner, how they formulate it. They formulate it with so many health benefits in mind.
Yeah, that's really, really healthy. Thank you so much. So I'm going to cover the questions we've now got from lots of people about, is it available in the US and Europe? Yes, it is. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and show you how we get it. So if you go to, just multitasking here, let's have a look. Right, so these products are available both in the USA and Europe. So if you go to my catherineedwards.life and then go to the health products tab and scroll down, I only recommend products that I personally use and really recommend. So you will find two things here. This Platinum Health Products supplies the UK and the EU. So I'm going to show you how to order the product on there in a minute. And the PURIUM Health Products are for the USA and Canada. So let's show you for the USA and Canada. You would click on here and it tells you my gift card code to order to get $50 off your first order. So it's worth really thinking about what you want for your first order to maximize that benefit. So you would click through to the buy product, which would get you to the shop where you can look at anything you like. But if you go to Quick Shop, and here, if you put in MPV, which is
MVP, Catherine.
MVP, sorry. Yeah. Right, I always get it. It's been a long day.
Most valuable player.
Yeah, and search on that. A bit slow, my computer. Then when you go down, all the different ones. So it's this MVP Terra Pouch chocolate. And this will give you the different ways to order. There's different prices depending on whether you order regularly or not. So the shop will talk you through that. But this is the product, and they're always 100% transparent about all the ingredients, the serving amounts, and everything. So this is how you would go to buy in the USA and Canada. And you would use my gift card code of Catherine Edwards, which is on the website I just showed you, to order that product.
But just to clarify, Catherine, you can only use the gift card code once on your first order.
Yeah, just once, not on every order. So really think about everything you might want to be able to maximize that value. And it's off the product, not off the postage. Now, if I stop sharing the screen and I go back to show you about how to order in the UK or Europe, just go back on. Unfortunately, StreamYard, you have to go in and out to actually make sure that you do it. So for those of you in the EU or Europe, you would go to the Platinum Health products. Same offer. Using the gift card code, you get 50 euros off your first order. So you would click through to buy through. And the easiest way, if you're looking for a particular product, there's obviously loads on there, as you would put in again MVP, or you could put in there chocolate and it would bring up all the relevant products.
Try Love MVP, Catherine, LOVE before it, because in Europe it's called Love MVP.
Yeah.
And Love stands for live, organic, vegan protein.
I think I have to go into the quick shop first.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go into the quick shop and do it. So we've got the you'd scroll down alphabetically, all the products here. There's so many good products, and when you click on any of them, it will give you a full breakdown of what they're for, etc. So this one here, which you can't get in America, but the EU, I adore this one, the Love Dark Berry. But my children love this Love Chocolate one. They absolutely love it. And then you would go on here, and again, it would give you the different pricing options depending on how you are going to buy. And then on all of the products, you can go onto the label to find exactly what's in it and the more information, which will tell you on some products that have videos and things more in America. So as I said, this will last you at least a month, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, just one scoop. One scoop, that's all you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of them, Madeline was asking about the green juice I'm drinking on the same site. What I'm drinking on the green juice, which I absolutely adore, and I have once or twice a day because it really keeps me going. In the EU, it's called the Hippocrates Power Shake, and I have the berry flavour because it's flavoured with natural berries. Absolutely fantastic green super shake. And I think it's called the Hippocrates again in the USA, isn't it, Andy?
It's just called Power Shake in the USA.
It's just called the Power Shake in the USA.
Yeah.
So that's the green juice, and we all have that. Now, my children really love that as well, actually. And my husband and I use it. I just have always have a couple of these because I'm rushing around doing so many different things. I know that I'm getting all my nutrients. So, there's loads. Sorry, just trying to keep up with the the comments here. So, yeah, both available in the USA, Canada, Europe, and EU. So I'm just looking through the other comments, seeing what we need to do. Yes, dairy. There's a lot of issues with dairy in the body.
Someone mentioned about only baby cows drink cow's milk. I agree.
Yeah.
You know, we are the only, that I know of, the only animal in the animal kingdom that drinks another animal's milk out of choice. That should tell you everything.
Yeah. Slowfinger here. Yeah, that's a bit too much detail to go into here, but yes and no, I would say to your answer there. It's sort of more complicated than that, and it looks at what fat and what sugars you're actually using. And also sugar from whole food, really, really important. So the beauty about what you're looking for with any sort of supplement or product like these are actually all foods in a powdered form. They're 100% natural ingredients, and there's no nasty synthetic vitamins and minerals added. And obviously eating organic foods in their natural form is absolutely optimal for all of us. But sometimes if you're in a rush or you're trying to get people to, particularly teenagers or university students, you know, I took great pleasure knowing that I could send my son off to uni with these. And then even if he's not necessarily making the best choices or in a shared house with other people cooking for him, I know that he's getting all the nutrients he needs on a daily basis. And the one thing I never am without for my children is the gut harmony, or the biomedic, which you can go back and look at the gut health video we did, because what that very importantly does is it takes the glyphosate, the pesticides, the herbicides, the heavy metals out. And unfortunately, a lot of our foods are really, really full of those. So that's a really important one for our children.
Yeah, I'll just qualify. I mean, I agree with that slow finger too said there. I didn't mean that what did it say? That they neutralize each other. What I meant was when you take sugar can actually create an effect in the body where, what's the word I'm looking for? My mind's gone black. Not adrenaline, cortisol. It can spike your cortisol, sugar. Okay, but you bring fat into it, and fat can have the effect of bringing that cortisol level back to normal type of thing. So as opposed to sugar just spiking your cortisol, if you bring a fat in with it, the cortisol, not cortisol, what am I saying? What's the word I'm looking for? Not cortisol.
Sorry,
I can't think of it, but what it does, it levels it out. Okay, so as opposed to spiking, it actually levels it out. So yeah, I agree with what you were saying there. Yeah, I mean,
it moderates it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Cortisol. That's what I was thinking of, cortisol.
Yeah. So what we're really looking for is just to give different ideas. You know, juicing's obviously absolutely fantastic. All of you will be in different positions about, you know, how good a diet your children or teenagers do. And the great thing is this is suitable for all ages as well. And we were saying in the summer, weren't we, Andy? This makes fantastic because you can freeze it. You can make it up and freeze it into lollies as well, which are really, really lovely. And particularly the young children love that, because we're just looking at superfoods in a really well balanced mixture. So for those of you where you need something more convenient, or where you think that your children or young adults might want something that's a bit easy to take on the go, it's just giving you another option that you can think about, because I know it can be, there's a lot of stressed parents out there at the moment saying about how they really keep their children's immune system boosted up at these times, because whether you're worried about the virus or not, you know, there's a lot on their plates at the moment, the young people. Their lifestyle has been changed quite a lot, and it's important we support them in the best way we can.
I also make a great, for me anyway, I love it. I make my own flapjacks, okay? But I take all the rubbish that they would make a flapjack in and put all the good stuff in. So what I do is I maybe add a couple of scoops of the chocolate into the flapjack as well. So you can make a mousse out of it. You can throw it in you know, any healthy baking that you're doing. You can throw it all into that stuff as well, and you're still going to get the benefits from that. So yeah, it's there's many different things you can do with it.
Yeah, my daughter does these absolutely brilliant. I don't know if anyone on here has heard of Bear Grylls, but Bear Grylls has got a really good healthy cookbook, and it's absolutely brilliant. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's really good. And he does a really good superfood vegan pancake in the morning. And when you add this into those, it is absolutely delicious. So you can be creative to get some of these superfoods into your children, and they don't even know you're doing it half the time. So it just makes life easier for some of us to have a few different tools in a toolkit. So thank you so much for everyone joining us. Has anyone got any final questions on that? And Andy, have you got any final points that you wanted to raise?
Not really. I love kids just to get, for them to understand, to empower the kids to understand that getting something healthy inside them before they go to school and do their activities and things like that, it's so important to look after the body. And if we can, you know, if we as adults who've experienced everything in life, I've experienced all the ups and downs, health-wise and everything, if we can actually empower them to learn from our mistakes and to help empower them understand how important it is to get good nutrition in them while they're young, and it will see them well as they get older. It's not easy. It's a tough job because they're young and they don't always want to listen. But if we can, and we can just adjust things a little bit for them, it's going to be a winner for them as they go along. And hopefully they'll pass it on to other people as well.
I think that's such a lovely point to end on. And, you know, these things taste delicious. Sometimes we're fooled into thinking that healthy things don't taste good, but of course that can be completely wrong. So yeah, really good luck. Let us know how you get on. Try the products. Don't forget for yourself as well as your children. You know, at the end of the day, our children are more likely to do what we do. And, you know, if you're setting a good example for them, then that's half the battle. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined us today and your questions. Thanks. And Andy, thank you so much for your time.
Absolute pleasure.
We really appreciate your time and knowledge.
Absolute pleasure, and thanks everyone for coming on the call. And you know, we just hope on these calls that you can take something good and positive away from it, and maybe incorporate it in your life.
Lovely. Take care. See you soon, everyone. Bye.